congratulations. And now you all witness officially inducted into the German American Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And we always like to thank you for being here tonight to share your valuable time with us tonight on this precious honor, which is a very, very big deal for us. And also, I will have to say, we Germans have one thing in common, and I mean, the love goes to the stomach. I hope you'll get dinner. I believe you should put one more commercial about aspirin or so over our eyes. How much give us a commissioner? We know the next thing you buy a new Mercedes for a caddy for his wife. And then we travel.
Now, say that in German now, in English.
Well,
Kannst du Plattdeutsch schnacken, ja?
Okay.
Plattdeutsch, ja. No, Bill, man, ein Weg, irgendeinem Commercial kann man reinzuschneiden. Hoffentlich bezahlen sie gut.
Okay.
By medicine.
Now I have to say something too.
Okay, by all means. Well, in all reality, we have to realize one thing. I almost believe my own press release now after the nice things you all have to say about us. You humble us from the bottom of our heart. But it's true that we realized a long time ago that the piano, the concerto is not written by one person only by him upstairs. And without him, it'd be wonderful. Thank you. We only one mosaic in the entire picture, and all of you are part of it. Thank you. America love you. Bless all of you. Thank you. Well, I want to, 1 second. I want to hear the end of it if like Siegfried said something. That gives you enough time to recuperate. Because he's normally very emotional at this moment. I don't know what the person.
I'm getting over it. Should I?
Yeah, by all means.
You know, I have to tell you, I wrote a whole thing down, but after you, I can follow with this speech. So.
Yes, I will. Yes,
What I want to say is, I just gonna talk because I see all of you in front of me, and with the German blood in you, and I see all this talk. I heard all these things what they talk about us, and thank you, Rita, for the nice words. And you. Thank you, Arnold. Thank you, Arnold. But you know, New York, this happens in New York, and when they told me you have to come to New York, I say, oh my God, New York, of course, because New York was, I go back now 50 years ago, the first time, and like you
Look
said,
at my HIV.
we, Roy and myself, we teamed up on the ship, on the ocean cruise line, on the Bremen. And I was steward. I was not a cabin steward. I was steward. I was cabin steward.
And I have to be honest, I only was a bellboy.
All right. And so we teamed up, and I must say one thing. The first time we came to New York together, we walked up to 48th Street, and we walked up to Radio City Music Hall, and we saw the show in the Radio City Music Hall. The first time it was the Easter show, and was fascinated, and I didn't realize, because at that time I even was not in show business. I performed only as a hobby, magic as a hobby on the ship. And we saw this spectacle, and 25 years later, we had our own show at the Radio City Music Hall, and we had the house record, the first house record we did it. And you know, the great thing was we stayed here 23 days, right? And we had to go on to open up the Mirage in Las Vegas with Steve Wynn. He wouldn't let us stay another more day. But we went here because our friends, we became friends with all these big stars in Las Vegas, and Sammy Davis, and Frank Sinatra, Liberace. And Liberace said, Siegfried, you have to come to Radio City Music Hall because that's your place. And we said, all right, my God. At that time, when we saw the show, we never had the audacity to think sometimes we're going to be on this stage. It just happened, you know, and it happened because the people, they all had confidence in us.
But wait a minute, we have to tell him that we have been only a standing ticket, standing room.
Standing room only, all right, that's true. But I have to say one thing, you know.
And every single night, every single night, we was out on stage. He was seeing the two boys upstairs on the balcony on the standing room. He started crying on stage.
Yeah, 25 years before we was there in the last row on the third balcony, you know, and we had all this memory. Anyway, what I want to say is.
Thank you.
No. I grew up, and I'm sure a lot of you can understand the time, because I grew up wartime, and of course it was a tough time. Was hard time. We were poor, but everybody was poor, right? Microphone, all right. And I grew up, and it was a different time, and a different, Germany was a different state of mind. And, you know...
now you can say we're proud again to be German.
That's right, because somehow the tough time we grew up, it made us in the future only stronger. You know? And we didn't get everything, you know? We didn't get everything. We had to work for it, and we never get really a praise. It was a tough thing because at that time we didn't understood it, but it was even psychology was saying at that time, 3 hugs of your mother in a year is 2 hugs too much. Now, this is tough, and I never saw hugging and kissing, giving a praise. And I left my home, my family, and I didn't know what that was. And I went different countries. I worked in Switzerland and Italy, and I saw families come in the hotel, and they hugged their kids, and they kissed, and all these wonderful things. And I saw these things what I never received. And I said to myself, oh my God, when I come home, I gonna ring the bell on the door, my mother gonna open up the door, and I'm gonna give her a hug. And I was picturing it, and I got so nervous too close. I came home, and finally I ring the door bell, and the door opened up, and my mother says, "Ah, here you are." Like I just went from the shopping, all right? And I couldn't hug it, but she was the same way. We was raised, we didn't know how to show our feelings, but we know the love was in the heart, you know, and there's out, of course, the love. God.
In a handkerchief.
You know, I have to finish this. When I was then in Las Vegas, in America, and I came with the Lido show from Paris, and we had a working permit. And with a working permit, you had to leave the country every 12 months, and you get the stamp,
Immigration.
or immigration stamp. So I went out, and I went home, and the same thing happens, you know. Yes. And I came back to Vegas, and I went to immigration here in New York. I stopped over in New York. And the immigration get me the passport. And he opened up the passport and he said, Mr. Fischbacher, where have you been? I was in Germany, my country. Oh, how long have you been there? I was 6 days. 6 days. And he looked at me and he said, did you have a good time? And I was afraid to exaggerate, to say, yes, of course, I had a great time. I wouldn't say that because I was afraid when he say I had a great time, he say, why you don't go back and stay there? So he said, you had a good time? I said, yes. And he looked at me, took the stump. Boom. Nice to have you back. I never heard such a thing in my family. And I came to this country and said, nice to have you back. Now, if you get welcome like this, my friends, you know, you can give only your best. And thank you very much. You gave us the opportunity. You gave me. Thank you.
He has 20 more pages to talk to you about. He has 20 more pages.
No. It's not. Thank you very much.
I have one more final thing to say. And I want to say, even though maybe we now in Las Vegas, and we try to vote with the government, it's a big deal. We want to be part of selecting in this country. So, but we always say, well, you can't take the German out of the hometown, but you can take the German out of your heart. And if we're German, in the roots of German, we realize our roots all the time. And say, good night, thank you. Thank you.
Roy, stay here. We're going to take a picture with you. This is from our friend Koma. And we take the picture. Come here. We're going to take a picture.
Yeah, Gerhard Koma.
Gerhard Koma, our good friend, our mutual friend, who passed away a few years ago. He sent me this, and I say I'm going to use it for a photo op. But I have a personal gift I have here, and I put this away again because we only want to take pictures with you.
Don't break the bank.
I bring it. I went shopping and I found something because, as you know, I'm an art collector. But I found something which is a collector's item. It is. If you want to open up or you don't want to open up, I tell what it is. It will never be made again because they stopped, they discontinued to produce them, and this is a stupid crystal, and these are two little white tigers. They're for you. There's a personal gift for me and my family. God bless you. Thank you so much. And always remember, we came over here, we were Americans by choice. We were not born here, but we made a choice, and I think we made a great choice. God bless you all. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
hope you're all enjoying a wonderful time at this evening's special event. It's a privilege for me to say a few words on behalf of the most amazing duo in the history of the Las Vegas entertainment scene, my dear friends, Siegfried and Roy. Gentlemen, you are the best. You've brought so much joy and happiness to millions of adoring fans, including myself and my family, and we will cherish the gift of your amazing talent forever. And beyond your talent, the two of you have done so much to help others, so it's no surprise that you're being honored tonight.
What they have done for this community is nothing short of exemplary and extraordinary.
Siegfried, Roy, and I have known each other for more years than any of us will admit, publicly at least. Like many of you, I watched in awe the very first time I saw them perform. The illusions were spellbinding. The stage was full of colorful creatures, and their interaction with their rare and endangered animals, which they have worked so passionately to protect, was something to behold. But to know them personally is truly to be awed. I was fortunate to be the one to tell the story of Roy's amazing recovery. The same determination that allowed two boys from Germany to live their dreams was tested every day, far from adoring audiences. And like almost all that they have accomplished, they succeeded together as a team, each gaining strength from the other. In telling that story, I learned that wherever Siegfried and Roy are, there is magic.
Well, good evening, our dear friends, Siegfried and Roy. This is another very special evening in a long list of well-deserved distinctions and honors. And so we're just thrilled to add our congratulations again to another list of very well-deserved evenings.
For many years, everybody in America, and from other countries as well, saw Siegfried and Roy, and naturally, because they were in a room that gave them a lot of proximity, they felt as if they knew them. The fact is, there were relatively few of us that had the privilege and the chance to really know the boys on a more intimate and personal level. During the time that I had the chance with Elaine and my other colleagues to work with Siegfried and Roy, we became aware of exactly how extraordinary these two men were. For Roy, a man who never had the fear gene. For Siegfried, the cleverness, the sensitivity to theatrical moment that gave those performances for 30-odd years almost pure diamond cutter perfection. Watching their work ethic, watching them relate to one another was always an extraordinary experience. I tried to explain it many, many times over the years to friends who asked me what were Siegfried and Roy really like. But it took that terrible accident a few years ago to reveal to a lot of other people outside the intimate circle of their friends the character, the heart that these men had. For Roy Horn, the challenge of going and overcoming an obstacle that no man before him had ever overcome. To have a physical injury so profound that he would never stand up again. To Roy, that was just another bump in the road. And I'll never forget the night that he walked down the hall when we opened Avenue Q, unassisted, when 3 surgeons told me that that was physically impossible. People have learned that it's not a good idea to say impossible to Roy. For Siegfried Fischbacher, my buddy, who came to his buddy's rescue and is taking care of him beyond the scope of what a brother or anybody else would do.
They redefined the way showbiz is done here too. It's really incredible. Nobody is able to figure out how they were able to do the wonderful illusions that they created for the visitors and we who live here who love to see their show. You could be standing right next to them. You could be right on top of them and you couldn't see how it took place. It was magical, and I think they were the first real magicians in the true sense of the word that Las Vegas ever had.
I have such wonderful memories of these two wonderful men. I had an event where I invited people from Washington to come to Las Vegas to see the sights. They still remember going to Siegfried and Roy's home where we held those beautiful little animals. A couple of them scratched me, but it was worth it. It was a wonderful, wonderful occasion, and these two men have always been so generous with their time and their talent.
Congratulations on this special recognition. And a little message to Roy. I hear things are going well for you. That's great news. So I send my wishes for continued good progress. And to both of you, I send you all my love.
Congratulations, Siegfried and Roy. I love you.
So congratulations to you both. I want you to know how much I love you. And every time I think of you, I smile. I just smile. You make me smile, both of you.
So they're getting this award for a heart, the golden heart. It should be reinforced steel, it seems to me. But to both of you fellows, you've always had my admiration, my unqualified admiration, and I'm very happy to say my friendship as well. Congratulations, fellas.
Our heartiest congratulations to two wonderful friends, to this city, to this state, to this country, and worldwide, but also to Oscar and me. I mean, we have just thoroughly enjoyed them and wish our best to them both, and heartiest congratulations.
And believe it or not, I can't top that.
I congratulate Siegfried and Roy on this honor that they're receiving tonight, and now it's my distinct pleasure to introduce to everyone here, Siegfried and Roy.
One question to ask you. What's good news for you guys?
Good news is to be here. To be here in New York where everything began, and after all these years, and it's so exciting, and to be with our people, our friends, German American, and we're supposed to receive tonight the honor, the Hall of inducted of the Hall of Fame. So
it's wonderful to celebrate with friends. They're all like familiar friends here. So we're very glad. We Germans have all have something in common.
Everybody in this house.
And it's wonderful to have one big community right here in New York.
You
Last
two
time we were here was a Steubenparade. And now we're here for this induction. It's a big honor. We are very grateful to be here.
And you know, the first time when we came 50 years ago, we arrived with the ocean liner of the Bremen. We arrived here in New York, and we walked up 48th Street, and we got so excited. And now, 50 years later, now we get the Hall of Fame.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much for you tonight.
Well, quite excited because we have the guest of honor here. We have Siegfried and Roy came especially from Las Vegas. We're going to honor them and induct them in the German American Hall of Fame. We also have a granddaughter of President Eisenhower here. Andrew.
Marvelous. Wonderful. Well, I know the event started, and
we also Babe Ruth's granddaughter is here, which we're really quite honored because every day during the World Series we heard her name and her grandfather's name.
It's a wild event. There's a lot of German Americans. It was the largest ethnic community for so many years, right, here in America?
It is. It still is, yes. It's still the largest single ethnic group here in the United States. Also the one who contributed so much to this country, and later on I will embellish on that. They contributed and helped really to make this the country it is. We honor also Karl Schurz. He was a statesman, started the national system, the national park system. His wife was the initiator of the kindergarten, which is still in existence everywhere in the whole United States. So we really have very prominent people here tonight and people who really contributed to make this the greatest country on earth. And we're all very proud that we just in our way can help to continue this, perpetuate the honoring, perpetuate that the people know, the young people have to know about with our Hall of Fame. It is a cyber-based, a web-based Hall of Fame, a cyber Hall of Fame, not a brick and mortar. We want to reach as many people as we can every day worldwide, and that's why we created this web-based Hall of Fame here in the United States.
And the website is what?
Gamhof, GAMHOF.org. Gamhof.org.
And what's good news for Bill Hetzler?
Well, it's good that we got all these people come because it's not so easy. As you know, Roy was one time not as good as he is now, but he's recovering a lot, and we all prayed for him. We were hoping and praying, and he actually recovered. He walked in here on his own power, which is phenomenal. I remember 9 years ago he couldn't have done this, and now he did it. He was in New York to be honored years ago. And Siegfried, of course, is here. He's going from here to Israel. So it's like a stopover also. I have my whole family here. We have New York City important public officials, and we're very happy.
Congratulations, Bill.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Dan Eisenhower. Hi, Ann. How are you?
How are you?
I'm very good. So what brings you here this evening?
I'm here to accept the certificate for when they gave my grandfather, when they inducted my grandfather into the Hall of Fame, which was 2008.
That must be really very special. What are some thoughts about you and your grandpa? I'm a grandpa, so I would love to hear what a granddaughter thinks.
Well, I remember him as a grandfather. I didn't really want to know what he was doing or what he was up to. I just wanted a grandfather, and he was. He was a wonderful grandfather. He used to look at my report cards. You worried more about him than my parents. Just wonderful memories.
Did he ever take you out on a golf course?
He gave up on me. Definitely not my sport.
He would have given up on me too as well. I could have caddied maybe.
And I really quit the day he hit a hole in one.
He hit a hole in one in front of you.
Not in front of me, but I knew that was when I was bailing out.
Tell us a little bit about your career and things that you do and that you love to do.
I'm an interior designer, and I've been living in New York for many, many years, and it's my passion.
And interior design in the corporate world or private world or both or everywhere? Anywhere you can make it look nicer?
Residential.
Residential,
Yes.
Okay. This Mandarin Hotel is pretty nice, isn't it?
It's very nice, yes. It's wonderful. And how about the views?
What brought you into interior design?
It's a long story.
Can you abbreviate it a tad? If you care to.
When I was young, I built a house and realized that I really enjoyed it, and I loved decorating, and it just, quite frankly, was too costly to do it for myself all the time, so it was better to have clients and have fun all the time.
That's what I said when I worked at CBS. I better learn to make my mistakes here. I can't afford a TV network.
Exactly.
So, do you have a website?
No, I don't.
Okay, so it's private.
We keep it quiet.
Keep it quiet, but I'm sure very pristine, and it's fun. You make people happy in your job, right?
And it makes me happy.
All right, we love that because all we talk about is positive. So then what's good news for you?
That today was a beautiful day.
Can't ask for more than that. Thank you so much.